Hello, I'm Michael Caine. I play Ebenezer Scrooge in the Muppet Christmas Carol. And it kind of makes sense because Michael Caine kind of sounds like a Muppet. So everything is connected. I'm Michael Caine on Ebenezer Scrooge. The Muppet Christmas Carol, released in 1992, and is directed by Brian Henson, who is the son of Jim Henson, who created this whole Muppet, I guess the original MCU, the Muppet Cinematic Universe. And he is making his directorial debut. This is the first Muppet film that was released post Jim Henson's death. And the film is starring, of course, the great Michael Caine, and all of your favorite Muppet characters. Kermit the Frog, Fozzie Bear, Miss Piggy, Gonzo, Rizzo, all of them return for very fitting roles for themselves. And a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everyone. Is December 25th, so in the Christian religion, of course, that is Christmas. That's the day that all companies, at least here in this country, give you the day off, and it's awesome, and hopefully there's snow on the ground, and the Christmas tree is lit, and you have a nice ham roasting in the oven all day. It's a fun day. Well, it's not really a fun day, because usually with me and my wife, that means, hey, we're traveling to a bunch of different houses to visit family members all over the place, because no one really comes and visits us. We have to go to everyone to do that. So it's not that much fun. Christmas Eve is actually a great day, though, because that is just time for me and my wife to kind of chill, maybe go and look at Christmas lights, or just kind of sit and watch a Yule log DVD and sit and look at our Christmas tree, listen to Christmas songs, drink some eggnog. Yeah, I prefer Christmas Eve than Christmas Day. Before we get started, this is a PayPal donation from, again, the biggest supporters of this channel, Mr. and Mrs. Rusted Beetle. They sent in a late recommendation this year, a late donation, so of course I'm trying to squeeze it in here. Here we are for Christmas. It's a Muppet Christmas Carol. I couldn't put this off. I couldn't be talking about a Christmas movie in January, and I can't put this off all the way to next Christmas. So here we are, talking about Muppet Christmas Carol. If any of you want to bypass the whole random generator selection when it comes to all of your recommendations, you can make a PayPal donation by clicking on the donate button on the main page of my YouTube channel. Any size donation will do. Just attach your movie with your donation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it and publish my review of it as quickly as I possibly can, as opposed to scheduling it months, weeks down the road. A Muppet Christmas Carol is another adaptation of the very famous Charles Dickens novella called A Christmas Carol. And you all know the story by now. An old stingy man by the name of Ebenezer Scrooge is a jerk to everyone around him, and he pins it all on the holiday of Christmas. However, to save his soul from total damnation, he is visited by three ghosts who show him the error of his ways and help redeem him to be good towards his fellow man. We have all heard this story again and again and again. We've seen plays, we've seen TV specials, we've seen movies. There are, easily, when it comes to just TV and film alone, hundreds of adaptations and versions of this story. And then not to mention when you get into the theater world, every community theater, professional theater around this time will produce a limited run of A Christmas Carol for the holidays. The only difference that this adaptation has with all those other ones is that, hey, we have Muppets here. And I remember watching this as a kid. I was a huge Muppet fan. I would watch The Muppet Show, I would watch Muppet Christmas specials on TV, I would watch The Muppet Movie, anything Muppets, I was in. So when this film came out, gosh, what would I have been? I would have been 4 years old. I was definitely into this. And they turn it into a musical, which, again, we already have an adaptation of Scrooge, which is a musical, but here it's a Muppet version of a musical version of Christmas Carol. I like the songs that play in this film. They get stuck in your head so frickin' easily. And the singing of the street corner choir, it's going home and getting warm by the fire. It's true, wherever you find love, it feels like Christmas. It's a season to be jolly and joyous. Oh yes, I've watched this every single year at Christmas in some way, shape, or form, so I know all of these songs by heart. Something that really bothered me, though, when we purchased the DVD a couple of years ago, there's two versions on the DVD that we have. There is the widescreen theatrical version, and then there is the full screen extended version. Now, of course, in my later and more educated years, I'm always going to choose the widescreen version, because growing up, watching full screen versions on VHSs and then moving towards like DVD and digital platforms, I go, why was I watching everything on full screen? It sucks. So I always choose the widescreen version. But this DVD leaves out an entire song that we hear in the very final moments of the movie, but supposed to be played during a scene with young Ebenezer and Isabel. It's a song called The Love Is Gone. The love is gone. The love is gone. It's when Isabel breaks up with Ebenezer Scrooge, and I remember that version from the VHS full screen edition that I had growing up, and now moving into DVD territory, it's not there. What the hell? Why would they get rid of that song when they do a reprise of it at the very end of both versions? So if you're new to this rendition of A Christmas Carol and you're watching this through and you get all the way to the very end and you hear that song, you go, what is weird? I didn't hear this song throughout the movie. It's because they took it out in the theatrical version. Why? I would assume it's because the singer is not that good. But the song needs to be there. It's a big moment in Scrooge's life that really just messes with his mind. Now, it's something that's just irked me over the past couple of years watching the DVD version of this. So many of you probably don't even know what I'm talking about. Many of you probably didn't grow up in the early 90s and didn't have VHSs. You just have DVDs that just have theatrical versions, not the extended full-screen versions. I think I'm spending way too long on this aspect because, I mean, overall, I love this movie. It's a great adaptation of one of the most produced and adapted stories ever told. And why is that? Why is A Christmas Carol adapted and changed and produced? Every other year we have a new Christmas Carol movie coming out, or every year we have the theaters putting out Christmas Carol plays. Why do we keep adapting the story? Why do we keep telling this story to everyone? And I like to think that I think we as a people want to be optimistic that even in our later years, when we are maybe a couple of years from the end of our lives, we still have the free will and the capability of enriching our lives and redeeming ourselves. I think it's inevitable that when you get into your elder years, you start looking back on your life and you kind of play with your mind and your history, thinking, oh, what if I would have taken this job? Or what if I went to school here? What if I didn't go to school? Or what if I actually went on a date with this person? What would have happened in my life? And I would assume that when you do that, some regrets start popping up. I think it's just inevitable and it's a natural human reaction. So I think it's nice having the mentality that even though I'm a couple of years away from the end of my life, I can still enrich other people's lives. And by doing that, it enriches mine and it redeems me for any bad doings that I feel that I've done in my life. Or as Heath Ledger in A Knight's Tale would say, it's never too late for a man to change his stars. Us humans just like thinking about our past, what's going on in our lives today, and then where our lives are going to lead us down the road. It's just nice being reminded to stay present in your everyday life and be nice to your fellow man while you have the chance. And if Michael Caine is not enough to teach you that lesson, you got some lovable Muppets here to do it for you. Kermit the Frog as Bob Cratchit, Fozzie Bear as Fuzzywig, or is it Fozzywig? I can't remember. Miss Piggy as Mrs. Cratchit. Gonzo as Charles Dickens. He's the narrator throughout this entire thing. He's the omnipotent force, as he likes to say. I think this movie's just delightful, and it's a holiday must-watch for me. I'm gonna give a Muppet Christmas Carol 4 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I like it a lot.
It has Michael Caine singing. I mean, could you ask for anything more? So guys, what did you think of A Muppet Christmas Carol? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you'll know the next time I'm releasing my next movie review. So I will see everyone later on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.